morning, everyone. My name is Malin and happy Thursday. Even though that I just feel there is this weird shift right now. So the only thing I can do when things are a little bit weird all around us is actually to practice, to step onto the mat and try to calm down. Right, try to get those little thoughts lined up in order and just feel the calmness and trying to sit with it. It's like if you took my class yesterday, just to sit with that notion of being uncomfortable and getting to know your feelings, own up to them, recognize them, and hopefully things that doesn't serve us, we can let it go and we move on. All right. So today it was all about what your favorite inversion was, and I don't really know what you're up for, but I know what I'm up for. So it's going to be some pincha, it's going to be hip openers, it's going to be a little bit of everything today. So let's come in to a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. Just going to turn my little background music on. And then close your eyes. And then start listening in to your breath. See how you're feeling. Slowing down the breath. Start transitioning to the Ujjayi pranayama. Seal the lips, start breathing in and out through the nose. Find a light contraction at the back of the throat, keeping your inhale consistent to your exhale. Things are becoming a little bit more quiet around us. Engage the pelvic floor for your Mula Bandha and then draw the navel to the spine, your Uddiyana Bandha. And then open up your eyes and interlace your hands behind your back. Hold the shoulders towards the ears and then slide them down the back, opening up your heart. Expand through the breath. You can even move the hands away from your hips. And then release your hands down, roll over onto your hands and knees, coming into all fours. Let's do a couple of cat cows. So inhale, drop your belly, tailbone up, opening up the chest. And then exhale, round belly in. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. 2 more, breathe in. Exhale, round. Last one. Come into neutral. Bring the big toes together. Hips shifts towards your heels and try to get your belly between your thighs. Walk your hands out as far forward as you can. Roll your armpits in. Maybe the chest is touching. Maybe the forehead is down. Close your eyes. Walk your hands over towards the right side. Take your right hand to your left wrist and then really pull the hand away from the shoulder, shifting the hip toward your heel, roll your armpit in, breathe. Inhale, come back through center, walk your hands over towards the left, take your left hand to your right wrist, pull the hand away from the shoulder, roll your armpit in. And then inhale, come back through center. And then rise up to all fours. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, coming into downward facing dog. Walk your feet out, shifting the heels up and down. Making sure the hands are grounded into the earth. Take your tailbone and breathe. Keep the sides nice and long. As every exhale, you create this space in your body and your mind. Lift your heels off the mat and then walk your feet nice and slowly all the way to the top of the mat. Drop the head down towards the mat, hands can come to the elbows and you can sway here from side to side. And then release your hands to the mat and then slowly start rolling up along your spine. Nice and slow. Coming all the way to the top of the mat. Hands by the sides, hips on neutral, chin parallel to the floor. Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Shift the gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, look between your legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right hand plants underneath your right shoulder, bend your right knee. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Crown of the head draws forward, gaze towards your fingertips. And breathe for 3, ground into the left big toe. 2. And 1. Exhale, lower the hand down and then switch. Inhale, right arm. 3. 2. And 1. Lower the hand down. Inhale, plant your hand and then down. Knees. Breathe for 3. 2. And 1. Exhale, hand comes down, shift back, half split, fold over the front leg. Another 3 breaths. Pull your right hip back. Inhale, shift forward, tuck the toe, lift the knee, step your right foot next to your left, lift your hips downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, knees, rotate your tailbone up, bend your elbows, chin and chest. Come forward and up for cobra. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Shoulders over wrist again, hips are neutral, heels are reaching back, legs are strong. Lower down halfway into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press the mat away from you, come to the tops of the feet, heart moves forward. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg straight up. Exhale, knee to the chest. Come forward, step your left foot between your hands. For runner's lunge, heart moves forward. Left foot steps next to, right foot steps next to your left and you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right hand plants again, bend the knee, inhale, left arm, another 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Take the hand down and now switch. Inhale, right. 3, 2 and 1. Hand comes down, inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hand, right foot steps to the back, knee comes down. Make sure the knee is over the ankle, and maybe you start rising up, coming into full pose, Anjaneyasana. Lift the chest, stretch the front side of your body for 3. Relax shoulders down, 2 and 1. Take the hands down, shift back for half split, fold over the front leg for 3, 2 and 1. Inhale, come forward, frame your foot, tuck your toe, left foot next to your right, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knee, bend your elbows, chest and chin. Come forward and up for cobra. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale to high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through for runner's lunge. Lift the heart, move forward, left heel back. Step your left foot next to your right, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastitihi. Good, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step the feet to plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Heels are reaching back, come back to the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. We breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samastiti. One last time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. So we're going to take a Surya Namaskar B variation. Big toes together, keep your hips neutral. Bend the knees, inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, fold.
Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel down, right foot between your hands. Inhale, rise, listen up. Open up your arm. Exhale, left arm over your right. Wrap them around for Garandasana. Lift your heart. Exhale, bow, humble. Reaching your fingers towards the mat, chin to the chest. Breath takes you up. Exhale, release, arm comes up. Exhale, fold or step it back, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right heel down, left foot forward. Breath takes you up. Open up your arms, right arm on top, wrap it around. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Fingertips to the mat, chin to the chest. One breath, rise. Reach your arms up and over. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now come down to your forearms for down dog. You can take your knees down. Forearms are parallel to the floor or to each other. Lift your hips, heels are reaching back. Slow down the breath. Check in with your physical body, your mind, your heart. And then press into the hands. Come back to your down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees, inhale, sit to chair. Samastiti. Good, one more time, bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, plant your hands, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left heel down, right foot between your hands. Inhale, rise. Open up your arms. Exhale, left arm over your right. Lift. Exhale, humble. Inhale, rise. Reach your arms back up over your head. Exhale, step it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right heel down, left foot between your hands. Breath takes you up. Open up your arms. Exhale, right arm over your left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Reach your arms up and over. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. Come down to your forearms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Press into your hands again. Come back to your down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees, inhale, sit to chair. Come to standing. Samastiti. One last final time. Just like that. Bend the knees, inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot forward. Inhale, rise. Open up your arms. Exhale, left over your right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Release your arms. Exhale, step it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right heel down, left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Open up your arms. Exhale, left over right. Find your lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise back up. Release your arms up and over. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your forearms. And breathe. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Come back onto your hands. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees. Inhale, sit to chair. Come to standing. Samastiti. Take your feet hip width apart. Root down to your toes, your heels. Lift your arches. Hips on neutral. Chin parallel, elbows back. Exhale, start hinging at your hip. Belly in. Take your peace fingers around your big toes. Lift and lengthen. Now drop the head down. Look between your legs. Relax your neck and shoulders. Breathe into the sensation. You can keep the knees bent, or you may be playing with the idea of starting to straighten them, rotating the tailbone up ever so slightly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half lift. Let go of your big toes, heel to your feet together. Cross your right foot over your left so the right knee is bent. Walk your hands to the right. Now drop the chin to the chest, so that might be enough, or maybe you fold. You can also take your left hand to your left ankle, pull yourself a little bit deeper, and breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift up, walk your hands back to center, uncross your right, and then step your left over right. So lining pinky up, left knee is bent. Make sure you're grounding into the right toe. Walk over to the left. Maybe just dropping the chin might be this is enough. Maybe the hand to your right ankle, and breathe for 5. You can feel this IT band, TFL, low back, calf, all those gnarly places. Inhale, come back through center. Uncross your feet, take your feet as wide as the mat, and then lower your hips to the heels, coming into Malasana, yoga squat. Hands to your heart. And try to get your knees as high up into the triceps. And then drop the butt, lift your chest, right? Squeeze it in, opening up into the inner thighs. We breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach your hands forward and then to come into a seat. Bring your knees together. And then you can stay here. You can lift your shin. You can support. You can straightening. Lift the heart wherever you are. Arms out wide. We breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up your legs like a V. Arms between your hands. You can interlace. We're going to tap it down. 1. Inhale up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your feet together. Hug it in and give it a little bit of a rest. You can roll from side to side, round your back. All right, so lift your heart again. Here we go. Navasana, traditional number 2. 1, 2, belly in, lift your heart. 3, 4, and 5. Open up your arms up. Exhale down. Inhale up. 2 more. And then lower down. Oof. You feel it in your quads, right? Good. All right, so let's go again. All right, so lift up. Here we go. Navasana number 3. Open up your legs. Here we go. Exhale. Ooh, wow. You felt that. Good. All right, take your hands behind you. All right, come back into Malasana. All right, we're going to stay here. So from here, we're going to take Bakasana. So listen up. This is going to be our first inversion. So we're going to go Bakasana to Mukta Hasta Shirshasana. So tripod headstand. Now, if you have neck issues, please, leave out. All right, and then from here, come up onto the toes. Bend your elbows, fingertips points forward, and then knees to the triceps. You round your back, pull the belly back in. So you're coming back into, or you engage in your bandhas. You lean forward, right? The toes become slight. Right? I'm going to move back a little bit so I have space. Right, so you may play with the idea of picking your feet up. You take 5 breaths. This might be where you stay. Maybe you lower the crown of the head to the floor, nice and slow. Knee to the chest, and then reach your feet straight up. So you're in Mukta Hasta Shirshasana for another 5. Belly in, press into the hands, getting weight off the neck. And from here, you're going to jump back into Chaturanga. Lift your head. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Shake your head out. And then inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest, step your foot between your hands, and then heel to arch alignment, rise up. Then straightening out your front knee. Right, so check this out. You're going to reach yourself forward, hinge at your hip, take your hand down. So maybe the hand can come to your ankle, if it does. Right, but try to keep the length over that front leg, rounding into that right big toe. Hand comes up. Of course, you can have your hand higher up. You come back to the breath for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your hand is on the ankle, keep your hand there. All right, so keep your hand onto the foot as you start bending your right knee. So the knee is now into the tricep. Try to get your left hip underneath you. You keep lengthening yourself forward. Pull the low ribs in. Reach your left arm up and over. Look underneath your arm towards your fingertips. We breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, walk your hands to the long side of the mat. Turn both toes in, setting up for Prasarita A. Hands under the shoulders, rock yourself forward, press into the outer parts of the feet, rotate your tailbone up, belly in, and now start dropping the head down towards the floor. Walk your hands back, crown of the head down, maybe the chin to the chest, press into the outer parts of the feet, engaging your hips for 5. Strong breath, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Turn your toe out, spin your right heel up, and then start bending into the knee. So we're in Skandasana. Lift your heart. Now take your left hand outside your foot. Bring your right hand up. So you may stay here. Maybe you turn, internally rotating the right arm. Take your hand to the low back. Same thing, have an internal rotation. Grab your fingertips. You can use a strap, towel. You look over the shoulder, or you just stay in the variation that works for you for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands down, lift your hips. Walk your hands to frame your front foot. Step your left foot in, heel to heel alignment. And then square your hips out. Make sure you're grounding into the right big toe. The front knee can be bent. Maybe you're straightening. Pull the belly in. Lead with your heart as you're folding over the front leg. And we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half lift. Now take your hand to the inside or the outside for Pravrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. Right hand to the hip. And then inhale, press into the left hand, lengthening yourself forward, start twisting, maybe floating the top hand up, and we breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hand comes down, frame your foot, bend into the right knee, walk your hands in front of you, pick your left foot up, and now stack your hip open. Plant your hands underneath the shoulder. Take your left hand to your hips. You may stay here. Maybe you bending the left knee, reaching towards the top of the foot. And then press the foot into the hand, open up the shoulder. And then release and step it back for chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. And then exhale, step your foot between your hands, spin your back heel down, heel to arch alignment, rise up. And straight away, straightening out your front knee. Reach forward, exhale, hinge at your hip. Take your hand that support the hip underneath you. Oops. And then float that top hand up. You're back in Utthita Trikonasana for 5. Come back to the breath. 4. Keep that long, energetic line. 3, 2, and 1. Bend into the knee. You can keep your hand onto the foot, right? And you're opening up your hip, using your shoulder. Left hip underneath you, right arm reaches forward. Spin your heart open for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hand comes down. Walk your hands to the long side of the mat again. Right, so we're back in Prasarita. Shift the weight into the balls of the feet, toes are slightly turned in. And then rotate your tailbone up, hands to the hips, elbows together, drop the head down. Prasarita B. Use your belly, engage your quads for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands underneath the shoulder, inhale, lift and lengthen. Walk your feet to the back of the mat. So coming back to Skandasana, right toe turns out, left foot straight up. And then lower down. So you may stay here and sit. You can take that right hand outside your knees. You have the knee high up into the armpit. Open up your left arm. Maybe hand come onto the low back. Maybe you connect wherever you did on the other side. We breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hand down, lift your hips, walk your hands to frame your front foot. Step your right foot in, heel to heel alignment, straightening out your front knee. Belly in, exhale, fold over the front leg. We breathe another 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, half lift. Right hand inside or outside your left foot, left hand to your hip. And then inhale, you're lengthening, and you just start twisting, floating top hand up. Paritta Trikonasana for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Exhale, hand comes down, move your hands in front of you, and then pick your right foot up. Plant your left hand to the shoulder, under the shoulder, and then stack your hip open. All right, and then take your right hand to the hip. Make sure the left toe points forward. So you may stay here. Maybe you're bending that right knee. Reach for the ankle, at the top of the foot, and then press it up, opening up, and breathe. And then release, step into chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your knees down to the mat for a moment. Keep your knees over your hips, or your hips under, or your knees under your hips. That's what I'm meaning to say. Walk your hands forward. All right, if your shoulders are tight, keep your shoulders wider, or hands wider than shoulder, and then sink your heart down. Roll your armpits in. Feel the bandhas. And then walk your hands back. Return to your down dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. Samastiti. Good. All right, so we have 2 options here. We have Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana or figure 4. So if you know that your hips are tight, we're going to start balancing on our left foot. So from here, we just, if you know you're tight, figure 4, take a seat, and this is where you stay, right? Otherwise, I'm going to face this way, so you see what I'm doing. All right, so you're going to pick up your right knee and take your foot, right, and turn your toe out. So you have this internal rotation, and you try to sort of, you can almost like move your foot towards the navel, right? Take your foot down, and then the knee comes down, right? So you may stay here, this might be enough. Or you're going to take your right arm, hold on to the foot. Bring your left arm up, and then exhale, bring the hand down, right? You can be in front of you. Maybe you can get your hand in line with your foot, and then drop the chin down, and we breathe. Or sit down to figure 4. Inhale, half lift, and then exhale, come all the way up. And then release. Come back into Samastiti. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So either figure 4, or balancing onto the right. Pick up your foot. Again, you try to get the heel towards the navel, and then take your foot into the hip crease. You can wrap that left hand around, holding onto the foot, and then you try to lower the knee down. Bring your right hand up, and then exhale, you start folding. You can use blocks here as well. Drop the chin down and breathe. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, come all the way up. And then release, coming back into Samastitihi. Big toes together. Have a little gap between your heels. Exhale, sit into Utkatasana. Squeeze into the midline. Tailbone down, lift your heart. If your palms are together, keep pressing in to like the pinky edge and then gaze up. Relax the shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left heel down, right foot between your hands. Right, you're gonna rise up into Virabhadrasana 1. Right, so square your hips, drop the tailbone, arm comes up, squeeze into the midline. Right, shift the gaze up. The gaze stays. We breathe. 5, 4. Sit deeper down. 3, 2, and 1. Straightening out your front knee, gaze still up. Turn you to the long side of the mat. Left foot turns to the back. Right, sit down, finding Virabhadrasana 1 to the back, still gazing up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up to warrior 2. Heel to arch alignment. All right, knees over the ankle. Drop that right hip, steady gaze over the left fingertips. 5, 4. Sit into the sensations. 3, 2, and 1. Straightening out your front knee, left toe in, right toe to the front, bend into the knee. Warrior 2 to the front for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now shorten your dog a little bit. So you can take your knees down. You're going to take your left foot outside your right hip. So you can also jump through. So lift your heels, bend your knees, right? And then you're going to try to get your left leg forward, and then your right heel is outside your right hip. And lower down. There you go. So sometimes it helps you just take a seat. So sometimes it helps to take the calf, move it. Right, the knee points forward, so you have an internal rotation. You can use a pillow to take a seat if this bothers your knee. So we start with Kunchasana. So sit up tall, and then exhale, fold forward. Oh, sorry. Trianga Ekapada Paschimottanasana. Keep the right sit bone grounded. And then inhale, come all the way up, take the hands behind you, bend your left knee, lift your hip, and then do a little tuck. All right, and then lower the sit bone down. See how it feels. Maybe you come down to the forearms, you do a little tuck, you lower down, you keep going. Try to keep the right hip grounded. So or Ardha Supta Virasana, I guess it is. Half reclined hero. This is my favorite pose. I'm a little bit attached to it. And then inhale, come all the way up. Now stay with your right foot right there. All right, so here we come, Kunchasana. So you can use the strap, take your hand to your left foot, and then from here, straighten your knee as much as you can. Gaze towards your toes. Again, both bones are grounded. Move the heart towards the shin for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, take your foot down. So from here, you can step it back and take a vinyasa. You can also practice your regular bakasana if that's where you're at, or take a seat to the shin. Take the hands to the inside and try to get your knee high to the tricep. Lift your hips. I like to come up onto my toes. I'm hugging my right knee to the chest and I lean in to my hands. I'm picking left heel to the butt. I still ground it with my right toe. Lean forward, lift it up. Jump it back. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Make sure you're breathing. So we're going to do the same thing. All right, so we're going to slide our right foot forward. Left heel is outside our left hip. So again, you can just come through to your seat however you choose to travel there. Here we are. Move the calf. Both sit bones. Get a pillow if you need to. Get the hips elevated. And then exhale, fold. Trianga, Mukha Pada, Paschimottanasana. One more breath. Inhale, come up. Bend your right knee, hands behind you. Inhale, lift your hips and do your little tuck, and then lower your hips down again. So you keep going, all right, to where you not necessarily going how long, how many breaths, is that good spot where you can maintain. You breathe into the sensation, you create space. You can stick with it. You're on that edge where it's the effort and the ease. And when exhale, you get more space. It might be energetically. It might not be that you're getting physically deeper into the asana. It's more that sensation that, or the mentally where it takes you. And then slowly, gently, we start coming up again. And then you can use the strap again. Both sit bones are grounded. Grab to your foot or the strap and then straightening your front leg, the right leg as much as you can. Gaze towards your toes and we breathe for 5. Relax the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then plant your foot again. You can practice your regular bakasana. You can step it back or you can take a seat onto the left shin. Hands to the inside. Get your knee high to the tricep, towards the armpit. Fingers are spreading wide. Lift your hips. Tuck the left toe under. All right. From here, you try to squeeze that heel to the butt. You lean forward, maybe bringing left knee to the chest. You extend it. Jump back. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. And then exhale, lower down to your forearms. Hold it here, hips on neutral, belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, take your hips down. All right, so we have a couple of options here, depending where you are in your practice. You can turn your right hand in, bend your left knee, and then reach for the top of the foot. So this is Ardha Bekasana. You bring your foot, so try to get your foot outside your sit bone. Now, if you have your hand, see how I hold it to the inside, my thumb is up, so I'm holding to the arch. I take my thumb to the ball under the big toe. What is this? Internal rotating. And then I flip my fingers forward. So I'm holding on to the toes. And then I push my foot down. So that's option 1. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Or you come down onto your belly. Take your feet to the inside, or hands to the inside of the feet. Same thing. And now you flip both hands. So this is full Bekasana. You lift your chest. And you breathe. And then lower down. So if you did half, make sure you do the same thing on the other side. Extend your feet back. And then lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into a high plank. And then exhale, lower down to your belly. Bend your knees. Now reach for your ankles or the top of the feet. So Dhanurasana. Right, maybe you keep your feet together, thighs together. Maybe you keep them hip width apart. Inhale, lift up and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, lower down. Extend your feet, hands under the shoulders, lift up, upward facing dog. Exhale, knee to the chest, take your shin down, thigh and your sit bone, coming into Ekapada Rasha Kapotasana prep. So make sure the foot comes out of the hip, roll a little bit to the left. On the exhale, you start folding forward as much as you feel comfortable. Inhale, slowly, gently start coming up. Plant your hands, tuck the left toe, and then inhale, right leg up and back. And then exhale, lower it down. And from here, inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to the chest. Take your shin down, thigh and your sit bone. Whew. And then you find that good spot again. And you start folding forward. And you breathe into it. Try to soften. Two more breaths. And then come up onto your hands. Tuck the toe, lift the knee, and then inhale. Bring your left leg up and back. And lower down. Inhale, lift your heels, jump through to a seat. Good. Now from here, you're going to take right shin in front of you, so it's parallel to the front of the mat. Left foot comes on top, stacking your ankle over the knee. So Agnisthambasana, so another hip opener, right? You try to roll to the front side sit bone. So if you hear or even here, that's fine. Sensation should be in your hips, right? So you are, as I like to say, you golden, right? If you feel something. Maybe you start folding forward. You breathe. Three more breaths. And then inhale, come up. And from here, we're just going to switch. So left leg on top, right foot or at the bottom, and then right foot at top. Again, you come to the front side of the sit bones. And again, we fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then bring the soles of the feet together so you create this diamond shape. All right, so we're going to take two variations of this one. All right, so from here, you're going to come forward and trying to get your forehead into the arches. And just stay here. Just a variation of Kurmasana. Two more. And then inhale, come all the way up. Nice. All right. So we're going to do this. Take the same shape. So we're going to lie down onto the back. So it's a Yoga Nidrasana variation this time. So the full pose, you actually will put the feet behind your head. So we're going to lie down onto the back. Again, you come into that same shape, and now you can take your feet. And again, see how my knees comes to the outside. So this might be where you stay and you hold right here. And this is your Yoga Nidrasana. Otherwise, right foot, try to wiggle it underneath and get your foot behind the head. And then we do the same thing, start to top with your left. 5 breaths. Connect your fingers behind your low back. And then release. It's that yoga sleep. Hug your knees into the chest. Where is this taking us? I don't know, right? It's just like the world outside right now. You just have to trust it's going to be okay. And then rock yourself up into a seat. All right, so Padmasana. Starting with your right foot. All right, so you're going to take it to your, just like we did when we're standing up, you take it to your hip crease. All right. So option here is to just come into half. So left foot comes underneath. Or you're going to take that left foot over your right. Make your lotus as tight as possible as you can flex your feet. Hands onto your knees to the chest. Strong breath. And open up your eyes. Now from here, what you're going to do is that you're going to roll over onto your knees, right? And then from here, you're going to come down to your forearms. So you might stay here, see how this feels. Or maybe you will take your hips down. And then inhale, come up. You can take your hands, so you're bringing your fingertips towards you. All right, if you have boobs, you have to wiggle them out of the way. I'm going to see if I can do this. You're going to bend your elbows. Try to get your elbows onto your hip bones. You lean foot up. You lift up. It's not working for me today. And then you can shoot your foot back. It wasn't flying for me. All right, you take a chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your knees down to the mat. And take a seat onto the shins. All right, so Pincha Mayurasana. You can use the wall for this one. So we're going to come back down to our forearms. Just like so. You're going to tuck your toes under and lift your hips up. So you may stay here. Maybe you play with the idea of opening up one leg. Maybe you get a little bit of air time. So if you have the wall, you can let your wall catch you. Press into the forearms. Take 5 breaths. and then come down. So if you're practicing of just getting the balance using the wall, all right, you're going to keep on doing that same one. Otherwise, we're going to take this in to a lotus upside down. All right, and if you can, I'm still practicing, you're going to take your lotus and you're going to try to lower your knees to your armpits and then inhale back up again. So this is the second series, Ashtanga. I'm still working on it. I have not yet mastered to come back up without a teacher's help. And obviously there's none here to help me. All right, but let's see. All right, so you come up, come into your lotus. We'll just practice up against the wall. There it is. All right. Awesome. If you came up, come back down. We practice. So take a moment. So third time, pinch shots. If you're still working on it, use up against the wall. So it's going to be around 15 breaths. Otherwise, we're going to take it into Vikrasana, which is scorpion. All right. So come to your forearms. All right, so when you do this now, you're going to drop the chest. So you lean forward, almost like you're doing a cat. You see how I'm doing this? I drop my chest and I push into the forearms. I lift my chin, all right? So this is the shape you're going to be in, where you're going to balance on your forearms. So you can use the wall. So if you move further away from the wall and take your feet onto the wall and you walk them down. Okay. Here it goes. Bend your knees, use your hamstrings. Child's pose. And then come back to your down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, jump through to a seat. Good, and you're going to lie straight down onto your back. We're already ready. So if you really want to take a bridge pose instead of Urdhva, go ahead. But you're pretty open in your back already. So take your hands in line with your ears. Press into the hands and push up. We're going to do 3 Urdhvas. And then tuck your chin, lower down. Take a moment. And when you're ready, press back up. And then lower down. Last one. Lower down, take your knees into the chest. And then rock yourself up into a seat. Extend your feet out in front of you, and then fold over the leg, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, come all the way up, bring your knee to the chest, step it over, left hand behind you, inhale, right arm, make sure you're pressing in to your left foot, left hip, sit up tall, exhale, twist, look over the shoulder. And then inhale, come back through center, release. Extend left leg, right knee to the chest, cross it over. Or the other, whatever leg you did. And then inhale, come forward, release, bend your knees, scoot your booty forward. And then here, wide, low, long, and then lower down. Come all the way down. Keep your hands at the long side of the body. Bring your feet straight up so you can stay here. Or halasana. Bring your feet over your head so the toes are touching. And then from here, you can shimmy your shoulder, interlace your hands. Bend your knees to the temples and squeeze it in. Take your hands to the low back, connect your fingertips so you're on your triceps. And then from here, inhale, lift your feet up and you're coming into shoulder slam. Squeeze your thighs together, look at your toes. You can bring the toes of the feet together and bring it down like this, or come into your lotus. Take the hands to the knees. And then exhale, bring your knees towards your temple. Maybe you squeeze your arms around. And bring your arms to the long side of the body. If you notice, keep it right there. Otherwise, extend your feet out long. Roll down. Now, if you have your feet up long, press into the forearms, as you will do. Keep your hands under your butt, maybe. And then lift your heart. Crown the head comes down. If you notice, hold on to your feet. Matsyasana, fish pose. And then release your feet out, let them hover over the floor, palms together. And then lower down, tuck your chin, spread your feet out wide. Maybe let your head fall from side to side. Now tip the nose, open mouth, let it go. Shavasana.
Deepen the breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes.
Stretch long. And take your knees to the chest. And then come up into a seat. Sit up tall. Let your hands rest onto your knees. Breathe. Feel the calmness that surrounds you. Yoga teaches us not to be so reactive. Maybe, take a seat back, observe. As this shall also pass. Take your hands to your heart, chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing this morning. Please stay safe. I think there's a chat here. Let's see. We're all